Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the virtual hair quarters. Once again, you're in the living room, and I am so grateful that you decided to stop by today and visit with us. My name is Jasmine Bailey, and I am the community manager here at MYAVANA. And in this space, we like to help women awaken to their best self so that they can awaken to what they have been placed within inside of them. And this week is like none other. We have another great guest, a beautiful guest, a miraculously marvelous guest. Yes, I said all those adjectives before her name. Her name is Marlena Daniel. Welcome, Marlena.
Thank you so much, Jasmine. I'm so excited to be here. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited to have you here. So, I want to introduce people to Marlena. And here at My Havana, everyone knows that we're a hair tech company. In the community, what we want to do is connect our community because let's think about it. Everything has to do with our hair. Like life and hair, it's not unrelated, it's all connected. So, while we are connected with our hair and our life with so many different things, we want to bring on speakers that will assist you with your life's journey. So we typically have experts, coaches, we may have a therapist, we may have other specialties in the community that may specifically deal with hair and may not directly deal with hair, but let's face it, all things relate to hair. So, Marlena, she actually is author, speaker, coach. And the reason why we have her on today is because Marlena has a unique gifting and style of how she helps her clients and how she just moves about in the world. So, one thing I'm going to allow this space to be is somewhere you can feel comfortable as well as get something that can help grow your life. And with that said, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Marlena. She believes that every individual has patterns and behaviors that hold them back from reaching their highest potential. So Marlena provides expert advice and impactful motivation to start a new journey towards not only achieving your goals, but also exceeding them. So that's why we have Marlena on today, because again, we want to grow our hair. So why wouldn't we want to grow our life while we're doing that as well? And then there's some transferable skills, right? You have to do certain things. We're going to talk about one, the Mayavana hair assessment, and that is our signature program and our product. So that way you can connect. Me and Marlena will connect together in how I conversate with her. Meaning, you can get your hair strands analyzed, send them to our lab, and then you can get the best recommendations for you. The way that I am going to connect it with Marlena is that the way that her process is, she gives you assessments and she breaks things down and then she gives you the best recommendations for you. That makes sense? So, again, I want to bring it all full circle so people can understand that while your hair journey is a unique journey in itself, your life journey is a unique journey in itself. So, Marlena, I am going to ask a question now if you are ready.
Yep,
Are you ready?
I am ready
Okay, so you wrote a book, ironically called Grow Your Life,
for your life.
and it's moving past the limitations of your personality and increasing what's in your hand. Can you tell us a little bit more about this book?
So, this book was birthed, ironically, as I was transitioning out of a 25-year marriage. And I remember in my frustration having a conversation with my husband at the time. And he asked me a question, and I said, "Grow your life,
Mm,
grow your life."
yeah, yeah.
But it wasn't until the next day that I was in prayer and I heard those words repeated, "Grow your life." And I said, "Grow your life." Then I heard, "Write the book." And so I knew then that Grow Your Life was going to be an opportunity for women to grow from so many different areas of life and recognizing that it's okay to grow. And with that comes um, opportunities, if you will, to outgrow people, to outgrow things. You're going to outgrow. If you're going to grow, you're going to outgrow certain things, certain spaces, habits, conversations, longings, desires. And so there's that weird space where you're outgrowing certain things. And so that is how Grow Your Life was born. I began to take a look at my transition, and it was very important for me to describe every aspect of it so that I could then present it to someone else to say, listen, this is where you're going to head. This is where you're going to be headed. It's okay to feel this way. This is how you're growing. This is how you know that you're growing. And so some of those chapters in that book are very eye-opening. Some of them are tear jerkers. It's a lot that goes on in that little short book. But that's Grow Your
Okay.
Life.
Okay, agreed, agreed. And I really appreciate and I love how you connected it to that outgrowing things in your life because again, as in even in our hair, think about it when you have a different hairstyle, especially if you get a short hair or you get your hair cut short and then you want to grow it out. There is that awkward phase, and you mentioned it. It's that in between phase, so to speak, or someone who's wanting to be natural and they're waiting for their relaxer to grow out. It's that unless you do the big chop, it's that awkward in between, or I would say the
Absolutely.
transition, like you said. So I appreciate how you bring it out that we have places that we want to grow in our lives, but then there are also things that we've outgrown, and we have to
Absolutely.
recognize that and we have to face it. So
Yes, we do.
that's what I'm going to ask you because you've used these strategies, and thank you for sharing your story of how this book came to be. You use these strategies in your life, and these
Yeah.
strategies have helped you, and now you have helped, and you do help thousands of other women. So, what are some of those practical strategies? We don't want to give you, we don't want you to give all your tea, but we want you. What are some of those practical strategies that you provide?
I think the first thing, that's important to any woman is number one, doing a self evaluation. Where are you? Where are you? Who are you? Who were you born to be? And understanding, who you are, where you are, what are your deepest desires? And through that assessment, we look at core values, we look at spiritual gifts, we look at how women are wired. And then from there, we can kind of take a look at the gap. Like, so you're unhappy because you were born to do this, but you're doing this, and strengthening the voice to be able to speak up in some spaces, trusting that it's okay to leave some spaces. So, but it all starts with really assessing the woman to get a snapshot of who she really is. What do you really want? And then from there, we work on strategies and how to get there. What does it look like to get there? So, though that's one of my strategies,
You don't
is
have
to
to give
number
all the
one.
tea. Okay, I was gonna say you
Okay,
don't
go
have to give
ahead.
all the tea. Yes, I was gonna say, no, no, you don't have to give everything. That
Okay.
in itself is a lot, and I think I wanna camp out here just a little bit because,
Okay.
again, you brought something out. Our hair strand analysis, that's an assessment. And
Mhm,
again, we take strands of our hair and
mhm.
we send them to the lab, and then they're put under a microscope, and then they're analyzed so that they can see where you are currently.
Absolutely.
If you want to go somewhere differently, hey, we have recommendations and we have strategies where you can go. So I want to just camp out there because I think sometimes as people, women in general, we want to just go past to where we want to go as opposed to make that pause and stop and say, where am I currently? So you
Absolutely.
mentioned something about how you were wired. What is significant in knowing how you are wired and what your natural been? What's the significance of that?
So life has a way of challenging you in the areas that you were born to thrive in. You were born to thrive in. It's important to know how you're wired because when you get into situations or conflict, thought patterns, things of that nature. It's good to know how you were wired because you can then identify the storm, how the storm is impacting you. Life has a way of challenging the core of who you really are. And so it's significant so that you can be able to say, oh, this storm right here is coming for my confidence in this area. I have been in this storm for X amount of years. So knowing how how you're wired and understanding the storm that continues to come around gives you the heads up and allows you to utilize a new skill set with a new perception, a new revelation. Oh, now I get it. Then the confidence absolutely comes back, and then you can start moving through the storm with the expectation that you will get to the other side. So you have to know yourself and how you're wired and value that so that as the storm comes or conflict comes, you'll know exactly what you're up against and exactly what you need to do to get past it.
That makes a lot of sense because when you know where you are, you can know where you want to go. But if you don't
Absolutely.
know you're in Chicago and you're trying to get to Philadelphia, you can go a completely different route if you think you're in Philadelphia already. That makes a lot of
Absolutely.
sense. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So you gave us one strategy, and I hope everyone caught it. And again, connecting it to my Ivana, assess yourself. Make an assessment. See where you are now, see where you who you are right now. So, one thing I would like to ask is if you would give us maybe 1 to 2 resources that people can connect with to that you would suggest to move them to their next level. So again, the strategy would be an assessment, but what are 1 or 2 resources that they can take to move them to their next level?
I would say one of the most powerful resources is having an inner circle that requires accountability. Change is hard when you don't have accountability or when you are trying to move in a new direction. There's strength in numbers. There's wise counsel in numbers. And there's accountability. You know, Weight Watchers is successful because they do what? They come together every week,
That's it.
they weigh in,
Exactly.
and they
Numbers.
talk about, yes, and
Yes.
they talk about what you did or what you didn't do. They
Yes.
also offer the support, right? So I'm going to say that the next resource is really going to be an inner circle that um, supports you and holds you accountable.
I love it. I love it.
The second resource that I am going to recommend is a mindset. This is a mindset. I want people to work on developing a mindset that gives them the okay to invest in themselves. Invest in yourself. And the reason why I'm saying the mindset is because that's not a natural thing for some people. The value has to be restored first. They have to be convinced that they're worth it. So we have to work on the self-esteem first and things of that nature. But I would say that one of the most powerful resources that we can have in addition to accountability is having a belief system that supports you investing in yourself, not investing and feeling guilty, not
Mhm.
invest in yourself
Yeah,
because it's going to be important. And what do I mean by that? Get a coach, go to therapy, go to counsel, whatever that looks like for you. Start getting the skincare, start working on your hair care, whatever that is. So invest in yourself. When we invest in ourselves, we only win.
that's it. That's
We
it.
only win.
That's so great. And it's so interesting because just before we started this interview, I told you about the hair analysis kit. I literally heard of MYAVANA through another interview that I was
Mm.
watching. And I checked them out and I was like, what is MYAVANA and what is this hair analysis kit? I only want to connect it to that is because I was just like, I saw the price point and I was just like, well, what is gonna, you know, be the result of this? And I was just like, Jasmine, it has to do with your hair. and somehow they're going to give you some results that's going to help. But to your point in the mindset, I had to make a shift because I was just like, well, I've never had this before. And that literally is my experience and my real life thought process where I was just like, well, you can try it now. And I literally, for this process, for my life, I did that.
Mhm.
And I was just going to see what the experience was, and I allowed myself to have the experience. The reason why I want to connect that to what you just said is that those two resources are what I did. I wanted to connect. Well, community came later, so that's why I started with mindset. The
Uh-huh.
community opened up to me when I became um, willing to change my mindset to invest in myself.
Mhm.
And
Yes.
then it opened up a community. So I love how you brought those two resources because I think a lot of times we shy away from both,
Mhm.
depending on
Yes,
how
we
we
do.
were wired, how we were born, social conditioning. So all of
Mhm.
those things are very, very important to bring to light because if we want to grow our life, like you said, and then things have to shed and things have to be outgrown, we definitely will need people to hold us accountable and be responsible for what we say we want to do.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. So those are my 2.
All right, let's go. We have two resources and we have one strategy. Can you guys say
Yes.
woo? Yes. So I'm really excited to talk about this because I saw this and I was just like, oh, let's ask Marlena about this and please share.
Yes.
So you have a life management program with
Yes.
everything about growing your life and your signature. I don't know if it's your signature program. You can confirm this, but it's called Life on Schedule.
Life
I
on
just love that the name and I said, please have her share about what Life on Schedule is all about. So take it away.
So Life on Schedule and all of my products, actually, everything that I offer is has really been born out of my own experiences. And I remember one morning in prayer,
Okay.
and because that's my thing. But I remember spending time in my morning devotion, and I was prompted to write down everything that I was doing, right? Everything that I was doing and all of that. And so I just kept digging and digging and digging and following instructions. I kept hearing instructions.
Okay.
And at the end of it, I had a complete program. And what God said to me that day was, you just increased your capacity. And so I took those instructions and I began to work on the program Life on Schedule. And what it is, it's a program for women that have, number one, multiple passions. Women typically want to manage all of their passions, everything that they want to do. It's important, even if you get through a week and you have two aha moments or two ideas. For women, we want to manage that. We want to be able to steward it in some way. So the Life on Schedule program is designed to allow women to hit the top 10 heavy hitters every single week, but do it in a way that will allow you to still be present for your family, to still have your me time and things of that nature. So the Life on Schedule is designed to put your entire life on a schedule that is feasible so that you're not overwhelmed. You understand your priorities, you understand what's not priorities, but you also have time where you're just, dumping, brain dumping. All of these different things are part of the Life on Schedule product. And I'm actually revamping it. It'll be coming out again the latter part of this year.
Okay.
So we'll be gearing up and getting ready for January
Okay.
2025, so that people will be able to get the actual Life on Schedule program. Women tend to be more tangible.
Hmm.
So, the
Yes.
whole digital piece, that's great. 95% of my clients, they want to hold the book. They want to hold it, they want to mark it up. They want to be able to say, this is
Yes.
what I've done. And so, that particular product will be catering to women that want to have a tangible product in their hands. So I'm going to be doing a series of classes and conferences and things of that nature to, number one, launch it,
Hmm.
but also teaching people how, the concept behind it. So that's life on schedule.
I love it. So it sounds like, again, you're giving strategies and resources for people to live their life on schedule without the overwhelm.
Absolutely.
Everyone. Yes, everyone can benefit from that. I can
Yes.
imagine. Yes, 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 and I love how you said that it's coming out later because I think your cadence and pulling it out, it sounds like you're doing it on schedule as well. Because,
Absolutely.
sometimes, yes, we just wanna, "Okay, I have this program, let me start now. I just have to get it out."
Yes.
Just
Yes, that
yes,
is so,
get it
that's
out.
it. And
Mhm,
you know what, Jasmine, the funny thing about that is it can take me a few years to launch a project. And I want to say this because I really feel like this is important.
mhm.
Um, and I do that. It takes time for me because one of my core values is excellence, not perfection,
Understood, understood.
excellence. I
Yes.
want to make sure that it is the it is exactly what I need for it to be. I want to make sure that the investments are planned. I don't believe in taking and always taking personal money for ministry things. I
Yeah,
believe in building things and making sure that this pot over here is for this and this is for this, so that I have the blessings and the green light to do things. Typically will not rob Peter to pay Paul.
got it.
And so, whatever that timeline looks like for me, whatever that timeline is for you, for those that are working on projects, take your time. Remove the personal deadlines that you have given yourself that are
Mm,
creating stress, right? Just
very true.
getting you all
Yes.
stressed out. Well, I wanted to have it done by January, but what are you losing? How much hair are you losing? Let's go to MYAVANA. How much, what are you losing to meet the deadline that no one has created but you?
That part. That part, because we are the ones creating some of our deadlines. That
Absolutely.
part. Yes.
Absolutely. So every day matters. And I believe that in being accountable again to your children and accountable to your spouses, accountable to your me time and all of those things, making sure that you get your workout in or whatever that looks like so that when you get to the finish line and we put you on a platform, you're not up there with thin hair and looking crazy because you have not eaten in 60 days.
Right.
The goal is to reach
Yes.
the platform and be whole at the same time.
I love it.
Now
Yes.
we can cook with gas, right? So
Yes.
that
Yes.
that is how I have structured my life. Even from a ministry perspective,
Mhm.
it takes sometimes years by the time I get on the platform and I have a theme and I'm bringing some things, teaching some things. These are things that have taken me years to learn or to experience because
Yes.
I want to be authentic in what I do. So
Yeah.
I take my time and I make sure that I am, you know, dotting all of my I's and crossing all of my T's, and I'm not stressed out about it.
Mhm. Thank you so much for the gift of that wisdom, because I think so much in our fast-paced society where you're looking at where people can compare themselves to what other people are doing, so they want to get ahead of the game, so to speak. And like you said, creating deadlines that are self-imposed, it can cause too much and unnecessary stress.
Yes.
So I really want to just pause for anyone that needs to hear that today, because I think sometimes we're so accustomed to going at a breakneck pace. To
Mhm.
stop and slow down is to be like, well, I'm not getting anything done. And stopping and slowing down and pausing, that's getting a lot done.
Let's get
So,
it.
yes. So, thank you for that. So, before I ask you how people can connect with you or if they would want to work with you or get on um your email list for when your life run schedule comes out, what I usually like to ask is for our guests to share with someone, and this is the question I'm going to pose to you. For someone who just heard what you said with taking your time, not going too fast, if they were being coached by you,
Mhm.
if they were on the other side of your screen or other side of your, your sofa or wherever your space is. And they said, "Marlena, thanks for sharing, but that just isn't going to work for me. I've got to meet these goals." What would you offer them in just saying, think about this? What would you say to that person who has been going and moving so fast, like slowing down doesn't even seem feasible?
I would first, revisit the justification. I would be really interested in how they got to that point. Um, was it a contract? Because a contract might be a little different. Is it your
Sure.
own personal? Are you in a heated situation where you're trying to get out of something? Is it a domestic issue? Like I would really want to know why.
Okay.
And so I would say get to your why, and, a lot of times it's good to flesh the why out with other people, because a lot of times when we have that sounding board, it helps to challenge the why, right? You got to
Yes.
be willing to
Yes.
have the why challenged.
Agreed. Yes.
But I would say to take a look at the why, and see how we got there, and to see if we could move some other things to make it happen, like what else is going on, that type of thing. So I would be looking at the why, but I would also be looking at the structure of their lives as well.
I love it. I love it. So there you have it, everyone. So this is again Marlena Daniel, and she is going to share with us how you can connect with her. And if you would like to work with her, Marlena, please share all of your social media, what you would like to share with us, how people can connect with you.
Yep, so you can follow me on Instagram at beyondthis.co. Beyond This is a coaching company for women, so you can find me on Instagram. You can also go to my website, beyondthis.co, not .com,
I love
.co.
it. Okay. Dot
And
co.
you can hang out on that website, and there's opportunity there to get an understanding of my philosophy. There's an opportunity there to make the determination as to whether or not you are a client of mine. And then there's opportunity to connect with me. You can go on and fill out a form, and start that process as well. You can also go to the website and hear all of the testimonies of women. I'm not going to say all, a lot of the testimonies of
Understood.
women. And hopefully you will see yourself there, nurses, business owners, nonprofit owners that I have worked with over the years. So go to the website to find yourself in that place, in amongst those pages, and then you can reach out either by Instagram or you can reach out on my website.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Marlena,
You're
for coming
welcome.
on today, stopping by the living room and sharing these wisdom nuggets and beautiful gems that you shared. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, alrighty. So everyone, there you have it, Marlena Daniel. We will have her information in the notes and the description so that you can contact her. And again, when you're growing your life, you have to make sure that you have taken that assessment. That's the strategy, and then those two resources that we were provided today. What you want to make sure is that you have an inner circle. Here at MYAVANA, we have the virtual hair community, and we are going to be growing in different ways. So connect with us on your hair journey. For your life journey, don't be afraid to connect with a coach, a therapist, someone that will be able to help with you. And then number two, that mindset. What are your beliefs? What are you really thinking about? What have you thought about so long that you don't even realize you're just unconsciously thinking about that? So sometimes you got to dig it up. And just like I'm going to pull up our hair analysis kit. So, like Marlena said, a strategy for assessing where you are, even with your hair, assessing where you are, connecting with someone, and connecting your mindset with a different mindset so you can grow your life. Grow your life. I think I'm having your tagline, grow your life. So, everybody, I am so grateful that you are here. Again, my name is Jasmine Bailey, the community manager here at MYAVANA. I'm having a great time in the living room, and I so appreciate Marlena coming for this time. So, until next time, we will see you back in the living room and grow your life as you're growing your hair. Okay, take care.